Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be finding out what really happens to Miss Karen Jones when Arthur has to rescue her from the hotel room in one of the very first missions in Chapter 2. So we are continuing our fun experiments on the PC now that Red Dead Redemption 2 is out on this version, which allows us to find out a lot of things. And yesterday we found out what happened to Micah and Norman and Maddie once he was broken out of jail. Today we're going to be finding out what happens to Miss Karen in the hotel room. So it all begins at the very start of Chapter 2. In fact, it's the first mission you can do in Chapter 2 when Arthur can actually talk to Uncle and begin the mission Polite Society, Valentine style.
Ow! Whoa, whoa!
Careful not to work yourself to death there, Uncle.
I was thinking.
Yeah, does it pay well?
Oh, eventually.
So, while the rest of us are busy stealing, killing, lying, fighting to try to survive, you get to think all day.
Well, it's a strange world we live in, Arthur Morgan.
Do you want to head into town? See if we can find anything out?
Sure. I got some errands to run.
Great. Go check the horses are ready.
You gonna take the old man into town? Take us too?
Well, what you got planned?
Nothing. We'll find something for y'all to do. We always do.
We're bored out of our minds. Been cooped up here for 2 weeks now. Karen's about ready to murder Grimshaw.
Well, can Miss Grimshaw spare you?
Can Miss Grimshaw spare you? What's happened to you, Arthur? 3 young, healthy women want you to take them a robbing. You're worried about house chores.
Let's go.
Fair enough. You got me. Come on then.
I can't believe we're going to see civilization. Feels like weeks since we did.
Yeah, Valentine. Very embodiment of civilization. You ladies are gonna love it.
Okay then. Let's go.
All right. Out through the trees here, then take a left.
Yeah.
All right. Here we are, just like I said. The cultural center of civilization. Man at his finest.
Uncle, what are we doing?
Well, we're gonna do what any self-respecting maniac does. Put the women to work.
With pleasure. We'll start at the saloon.
Okay, just stay out of trouble and don't get yourselves noticed.
Right, I need to get something from the stores.
Okay, well, we'll see you at the general store when you're done.
Come on, ladies. Imagine we're in Paris.
Come on. Oh, here's to your good health, sir. And to being down here off that mountain.
Absolutely.
It's a funny world, you know. This time in my career, I pictured myself being married to an heiress.
Gentlemen, I think I got something good.
What?
I snuck into this fancy house. Acted like a servant girl. Usually works. Someone was saying her sister was taking a trip from New York or someplace. Train full of rich tourists heading to Saint Denis and then cruising off to Brazil.
Okay.
A train laden with baggage and passing through a bit of deserted country at night as to get to the docks in time for the tides in some place called Scarlet Meadows.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, it's right out near New Hanover. Right, it's real quiet out there.
Sounds good. Where's Tilly and Karen?
I think at the hotel. They were picking up some drunken fellas that they was gonna rob.
Why?
It seemed easy. They have been gone for quite a while.
I guess I'll go see if there's any trouble.
Oh, there's Tilly over there. That does not look ideal.
Excuse me.
Okay, so did you guys catch that? When Arthur and Uncle are talking, you can see Karen sort of like slipping across the road with this guy. He's got dark brownish black hair, and it looks like she was going into the Valentine Hotel with him. And apparently she was doing this in order to hopefully rob him. And Arthur finds out about this a little while later once Mary Beth actually comes back and tells them what their plans are and what they have found out. And Arthur kind of feels like the situation might be a little bit out of hand. So he actually goes inside of the hotel room to try and rescue Karen.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm looking for a girl who came in here earlier with a drunk fella. Mid-20s, blonde. You'd remember her.
Yeah, they're in 2B upstairs. Are you, a friend of his?
A friend of hers.
So there's actually a lot of funny outcomes that you can get with this mission. The first is if you stay on the bottom floor, you'll actually run into a Chelonian, which Arthur finds to be pretty funny.
Sir.
Can I help you, sir?
No. Wrong room.
No harm done. Join me. I'm a Chelonian. Have you read our book?
No, I was just leaving.
So you can just see how afraid Arthur is of this guy. He wants nothing to do with the Chelonian. And if you actually go into the wrong room upstairs, you can find a guy using the toilet. And we can actually get into his room. And what's funny is if you do get into his room after that small little cutscene, like, he won't have any more reactions to you. He won't tell you to get out. You can just sort of see him struggling there on the toilet. And then that leads us to Karen's room. And I'm going to let you guys listen to this because there's a lot of things that you can hear from the outside of the door. And when you get to the inside of the door, I was kind of surprised at what we saw.
I'm getting what I paid for. You like that, huh?
Stop it! Go to hell!
You thieving bitch!
Okay, so it turns out that just like our mystery yesterday, what happens behind closed doors might not be exactly what we hear or see from the outside. So just like in this instance, we hear like, things being thrown around, glass breaking, furniture being tipped over. But when we get on the inside of the door, the only thing we see is Karen and this mysterious NPC staring at each other. That's it. That's all they do. And you might see their mouth move a little bit if they actually say some lines of dialogue. So I found this to be hysterical that once again, there really isn't any animation for what's going on here. And I guess that's because Rockstar never intended people to find out, what is actually happening behind this closed door. Now, this also gave me the opportunity to try some experiments here. The first experiment I wanted to try is what would happen if we took matters into our own hands here and we just ended up shooting the guy, like right on sight. Would the mission continue like normal? And so what I did is I pulled out my pistol and I shot our friend here, and I thought things were going to work, but then just a couple of seconds later, the mission failed because the law was alerted. So that doesn't end up working. Now, I tried a couple of other experiments as well, but when you are inside the Valentine Hotel, like, you can't take out like your fist to start punching people, but I was able to knock the dude over, but he just got right back up and sort of stood there. So what's funny is what happens in this mission is unless you actually go through the act of opening or kicking down the door, these people will just stand in here like nothing is wrong. And what's also funny is when you come in here, Karen doesn't have any of like the bruises or abrasions on her face after this guy started like beating up on her. That only happens as soon as you open up the door like normal. And then, of course, when you do open up the door like normal, this is what occurs.
Hey!
Hey, you!
A friend of hers.
Get out of here, buddy. I paid.
Ain't paid to hit her, you goddamn animal. Come here!
I paid for nothing. Think you two could stand me?
What the hell are you doing here?
Trying to play him. Not very well.
You okay?
Fine.
You sure?
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. Just men. But stupid bastard was boasting about the bank.
The bank?
Sure, I know small town banks are usually a waste of time, but this is a livestock town. There's lots of cash sometimes.
Everything's okay up there?
Okay. Keep investigating.
I will.
So overall, I found this to be a pretty fun experiment. What I'm recognizing so far, at least of the few that we've done, is that Rockstar don't go out of their way to do unnecessary animations. So things that happen behind closed doors and things that we normally can't see, they kind of just skip the animation and just have like the sound effects and the voiceover, which is what we've seen so far on 2 separate occasions. But either way, I found this experiment to be very, very fun. And again, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you have any future experiments that you would like me to try like this, now that the game is out on PC and we can use trainer menus and we can go through doors and walls and teleport and stuff like that, let me know in the comments down below, or better yet, reach out to me on my Facebook page where you can send videos, photos, and more. But regardless, I'd love to hear what you guys think about what we did in this video, so let me know your thoughts down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest Red Dead Redemption and GTA videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.